Hi everyone, thank you for joining our Construction and the Built Environment live Q&A. I'm going to now hand it over to Carolyn to answer any of your questions.
Hi everybody, welcome to the live Q&A in relation to the Construction and the Built Environment. My name is Carolyn Haynes and I'm one of the section managers at the Stevenson's campus of the SMB Group. I'm going to talk to you today about life at Stevenson's campus, a little bit about the course that you are looking into, and obviously answer any questions if I can that you might have. So the Stevenson's campus is just one large building with a corridor with lots of classrooms and clusters off to either side and also workshops. It's a very friendly atmosphere. There's canteens at both ends which you can get hot and cold food from. There's obviously facilities all the way down the corridor, depending on whether you're male or female. They're alternative kind of alcoves. The Constructing the Built Environment course has been running at the Stevenson's campus for many years. It's quite a popular course. We offer level 3 on the full-time study programmes. There are some entry requirements for that. We like to have GCSEs. We like to have 5 GCSEs. Maths and English is obviously the preferred, and then obviously science is very good if you have those, because it's quite mathematically based. So there are plenty of different modules and different pathways that you can follow on this particular course. You will learn things like CAD design, so you will learn how to design houses. You will learn how to work safely out on a live building site as such, so you'll learn all the theory behind that. And linked to that, we always try to get some visits to live building sites so that you can put your theory into reality, so you can actually see how live building sites work. There is a mathematics module as part of the course. And I'm afraid algebra does come into that, so I hope you like maths if you're going to join us. You will also, it depends on what pathway you're on, you will do some surveying. So surveying is quite interesting. It's using tripods and cameras, and you're basically plotting where a structure may go. You'll also learn about sustainability within constructing the built environment, because obviously that's high on the government's agenda at the moment. It's all about moving to greener building and different methods of technology as to how we can build not just houses, because obviously the construction of the built environment is heavily commercially based. So there's quite a big project going on at the moment you might have heard of called HS2. We've got lots of apprentices currently working on those different sites, and there's lots of different areas that have to be picked up there. So you've got civil engineering, you've obviously got your tendering and procurement teams. So you will learn about sourcing resources to go onto site. You will learn about, as part of the sustainability, not just sourcing resources, but sourcing them locally so that you are reducing your carbon footprint on the environment. That's the idea behind the sustainability side of things. You will learn about soil geology, and you will do soil testing. And the reason that that's part of the constructing the built environment is that you have to know what type of foundation different structures can actually sit on. So a foundation is basically in the ground, and it's classed as a substructure. Once a substructure is in place, that's when you put your superstructure on top, which could be made of metal, concrete, or brick and block. So there's lots of different reasons why you need to know about soil geology, because if you put the wrong foundation in the ground, then your superstructure is not going to remain super for very long. So that's why you do the soil geology. You'll also do concrete testing, and the reason that we do concrete testing is to make sure that you are aware of the ratio that the mix that comes onto site has to be, because if the ratio mix is incorrect, then the concrete could either A, become brittle quickly over time, or B, set too quickly before you actually get to pour it. So that's the reasons why we look at those kind of things. We'll also cover legislation. So obviously we've got different legislations regarding around constructing the built environment, because we have to look at things. If you're looking at a field to build on, there might be a very big old oak tree in that field which you cannot just destroy. So you would have to plan your site and plan your build around that oak tree. It's called a tree protection order, so obviously you have to take these things into consideration. Our Stevenson's campus is quite modern. It opened to students in 2005. Quickly after it opened, we extended, so it's now larger than it was when we originally opened. Now, one of the good examples of constructing the built environment is that when we looked to build on our site, we had creatures called newts living on there. That actually delayed our build by about 3 years, while we managed to convince the newts to relocate to the field next door. Thankfully, that finally happened, and they are now living happily alongside us. So that's something else that you will learn about, is obviously animal protection when you're looking to build a site. You'll also learn about the community in which the project is being built, because a lot of companies, building companies, both house builders and commercial builders, buy land, and then obviously they have to apply for planning permission. But when they're applying for the planning permission, there might be local community that oppose you building your structure there. And during that process, you might have to alter the design of the structure you're planning on implementing. And it could be because you've got to make it look more in line with what's already around it. It could be that actually people are opposed to the height of the building that you are proposing to put in that particular area. But you also have to look at the structure of the road systems, and you have to look and investigate where the electricity for that particular site is going to come from, where your plumbing is going to go into the sewers, and where your gas mains are coming. So all of these things are part of this constructing the built environment. And these are all the things that we will teach you how to find the information, where to get that information, to make sure when you put your design together that you're safe to do so. There's lots and lots of career options following this course. Obviously you can move through the educational system, so you can get your constructing the built environment at level 3. You could then go on to do a HNC. You could then go on to do a HND, and that could then progress to you doing a foundation construction degree at a university. You might follow the route of doing the level 3 full-time course, and then you might secure employment, at which point you would progress on to a level 4 apprenticeship. You might come into the constructing built environment route straight onto a level 3 apprenticeship, at which point you can progress to a level 4 apprenticeship and a level 5 apprenticeship, and possibly even a level 6 degree apprenticeship. So there's lots of career routes for you. Once you've got your constructing the built environment qualification, some of the career options are obviously quantity surveying, civil engineering, tendering and procurement, but also site management. You know, you could actually become a site manager for this. And then one of the really exciting job opportunities as you move through your careers is that actually you then have the skills to be able to come into teaching and education. You know, so once you've finished on site and you think, well, I've had enough of being wet during the winter and cold, then you can come into teaching, you know, and colleges like ourselves will support you to get those kind of qualifications as well. So once you've got a qualification in this area, the world really is your oyster. You know, you've got lots of routes that you can progress to in order to further your careers. So it's a lovely area. You've got a great team of lecturers at the Stevenson's campus. There are 4 currently recruiting for another. They've all been with the college minimum of 2 years now, so they're well settled. They have adapted to teaching in the recent pandemic, so there's lots of online interactive work which they plan on continuing with. So some of your learning will be remotely delivered. Obviously, practically wise, with the soil testing and the concrete testing and the surveying, they are hands-on activities. So you'll be out in the college grounds doing all those kind of activities while you're with us. Can you prod me a bit, please?
So is there anything that I can sort of do to sort of prepare for the course? Any videos or any reading that might help?
Oh, absolutely. There is a civil engineering book. In fact, there's numerous civil engineering books which you can read. But one of the most interesting things is if you Google HS2 on YouTube, you will see some of the videos, and they are in high speed, so you haven't got to sit for 6 weeks to watch it come out the ground. It's in high speed, so you can see all the different machinery coming in and out of the site. You can see them actually drilling to put piles in. You can see them concrete in, and then you can see the superstructure and the train lines and everything kind of going in. There are lots of different building developers, so David Wilson Homes, Barrett Homes, Jelsons, Bloor Homes. You can go onto their websites, and if you look through their portfolios of their kind of houses that they build, you will see all the different styles of houses that you may be involved in designing and ultimately managing the build of those. So yeah, YouTube is brilliant. If you type in constructing the built environment, it will bring up lots of different videos that you can be watching. Obviously, one of the key things is when you start college is come prepared. You'll want a folder, some paper, some pens, probably even a memory stick. If you haven't already done so, then it would be worth investing in the minimum of a tablet or a MacBook to be able to join the remote delivery. Your assignments are submitted through a platform called Turnitin, and that's quite specific. It's quite very time bound, so you do have to be able to manage your time. So if you're not particularly great at managing your time currently, then you've got a few weeks to set that alarm clock. Make sure that you're up out of bed and ready to start the day. Any form of work experience that you may have already been involved in is good, you know, because that builds up your behaviours. Because every course nowadays we're looking at what knowledge you need to gain, what skills do you need to gain, but actually what behaviours do we need to maybe work with you on, and that's obviously linked into becoming a good citizen. You know, ultimately that's what we want all of our learners that join the SMB College Group to become. So
thank you. And when are interviews taking place?
Interviews are taking place on a weekly basis. If you are interested in an interview, then if you can let Shaya know your details, we can then make the arrangements to either interview you remotely through Teams, or if you want to come and see our amazing building at the Stevenson's campus, we'll arrange for a face-to-face interview. But we do have weekly slots available for interviews.
And is there anything I can do to sort of prepare for the interview?
Prepare for the interview. One thing I would say is the course that you are looking to apply for is a professional role. It starts at a level 3, so prepare yourself to come in looking professional. Now that doesn't mean you've got to come in a suit and tie, but we wouldn't recommend you coming in your jogging bottoms, you know, because you're portraying this professional image. And with that in mind, we work with lots of employers, and employers are in and out of the campus all the time. So obviously, if you go in for an interview, then if you're seen by an employer, they go, oh, look, that learner's come in for an interview. Look how smart they are dressed, you know. And it just gives the lecturers a good impression. If you're applying for a study programme, a full-time course, obviously we do have apprenticeships become available. If you're on a full-time course and you manage to secure yourself a job with somebody who wants you to do an apprenticeship, then it's quite simple. We can move you and transfer you onto the apprenticeship. The same goes if you are on the course and you feel that I don't think this is quite right for me. We have lots of other areas within the construction industry that we can, you know, let you have a taster of. And if you think, actually, I want to be a bit more hands-on as opposed to office-based, again, we can move you around. The biggest thing really is get your foot in the door, come to the college, you know, let's get you in, let's make sure that you're comfortable. As a college, we obviously have members of staff, not only your lecturer who will be there for you, but we have pastoral care staff. We have progress coaches that are there to support you with CV writing, letter writing, and applying for vacancies as you progress through your course. We obviously also have a counsellor, so if you have any concerns that you want to speak to somebody externally to the team that are there to support you, we do have a counsellor that we can book appointments with on campus as well. All of the staff are friendly. You would be able to approach anybody if you were to get lost. Don't think you would get lost at the Stevenson's campus because it is just one long corridor. But should that happen, you find any member of staff with an SMB group lanyard on, and they will be willing to support you to get you to the right area.
Thank you. And can I still apply for the course if I require additional learning support?
Absolutely. We have an additional learning support team in place. You apply for the course, make sure you declare that you think you might have some additional learning support. One of the most common additional supports is dyslexia or dyspraxia. If that is disclosed, then we would arrange for you to meet our specialist team. They would carry out some testing and an interview with you. And if you need additional support, such as a reader or some support with any extra time to do assignments, then we would have that in place and we would honour that. The key thing is talk to us about it, be open about it, be honest about it, and then we'll go from there. One of the key things is obviously attendance. Your attendance needs to be above 95%, and that's what we're aiming for. However, we do understand that there are occasions when you genuinely can't get into college, or you genuinely can't attend for illness or family problems. The crucial thing there is talk to us as a college, either ring reception, tell them your lecturer's name, and we'll make sure that we log it and it's logged appropriately.
Thank you. I think we might have time for one more question. So somebody has asked, are there any student success stories?
Oh, student success stories, we've got a number of them. There was one lady from about 5 years ago who started off at the Stevenson's College campus on a painting and decorating course, level 2. She passed that. She then progressed on to the Constructing the Built Environment level 3 course, during which time she endured some quite horrendous issues going on outside of her college life, within her work life, within her home life, but she still achieved her level 3. She then successfully gained a placement with an employer and progressed on to the level 4 apprenticeship. She is now a site manager for her company, and she's earning some big bucks. You know, there's some good money in this particular career pathway that you're all looking at. So that was an absolute brilliant achievement on her part. We've got so many. We had a learner win the award for it's gone out of my mind. The charter that you must be part of as part of this. Sorry, the name of the institute's gone completely out of my mind. But we will perhaps be able to add that to the chat once it comes back to me. But yeah, for me, every learner that starts Stevenson's campus is a success story.
Oh, thank you. Okay, everyone, I think that's the end of the session. If you have any further questions, I'll just pop our emails and our website in the live Q&A section. And also just to sort of remind you guys that we have our Stevenson campus tour this Saturday. So if you'd like to have a look around our facilities in person, visit our website and do register your place. We'd like to say a huge thank you to Carolyn, and thank you to everyone for joining our live Q&A today. Enjoy the rest of our virtual open evening, and we really hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.